Just focus yourself, Bailey. Focus yourself. Quit rambling. These look like spiders. Hey everyone, it's Bailey from Making It the Midwest, and this is going to be a video where I talk to you about my top 10 favorite drugstore products at the moment. I'm sure it'll change in the future, but recently I've been doing these $20 challenge videos, and I'll link to them in the bottom bar if you'd like to see them, with different themes, waterproof, going out, natural, stuff like that. But in doing these videos, I've noticed that some products are really stellar for coming from a drugstore, and others are not so much. So to kind of combine what somebody else had requested in a previous video with just a favorites video, I'm doing my top 10 drugstore products. So if you'd like to see what they are, please continue watching. So to start everything off, I'm not gonna lie, there are a few more than 10 in here, only because there are some products that I had to double up on because some deserved honorable mentions. So the reason I preface this whole thing is because the first product is one of those products. That's foundation, and my first pick is this CoverGirl True Blend with Blendable Minerals, and this is in the shade 2. I only recently started using this probably 2 weeks ago. I'm wearing it right now actually, and it has kind of a matte finish. It's not dewy, but it's not too cakey for being a drugstore foundation, and on the cheaper end of the drugstore spectrum. Some drugstore foundations can get up to like $13, $15 even. This was $6 and I got it on sale for $5 maybe, and so it was a really good deal, and I'm surprised at how well it performs. In fact, it almost reminds me of my Inglot AMC Cream Foundation with a little less dewiness or a little less pearly, less of a healthy glow, but still pretty darn close, and it stays all day, doesn't get patchy until I'm ready to take it off. It's just a really great overall foundation, and I was pretty shocked. The foundation that deserves an honorable mention is this Rimmel Clean Finish Foundation. I'm sad that this was the first foundation I'd used in my $20 challenge tutorial, because up until I had found that CoverGirl foundation, it was my favorite because it wore so well. I also kind of like, because it doesn't have the pump applicator, it has this little wand, unlike a lot of these glass dispensers where you have to try and pour them into your hand and it's just ridiculous. It hurts the back of your hand sooner than any product comes out. It's just, I don't understand it. It comes with a paddle. I do love that. And it truly does give a clean finish. It's, again, not a very dewy foundation, so I'm sorry I'm not presenting you with a whole lot of variety with these two, but it's not a dewy finish. It's not completely matte either, so it doesn't look cakey, and it goes on pretty lightly despite having quite a good coverage. If you want to see the video I use this in so you can see the coverage for yourself, I'll link that in the bottom bar as well. It's one of the $20 challenges, so you can see it there, but I really do like this foundation, and it is cheaper than this. I believe this comes in at $3.50 or $4, so it's especially a bargain foundation, which is also great. The next category is concealer, and I actually have two kind of subcategories under that, because there is like dark spot concealing, you know, you have color unevenness in your skin, and then there is blemish, kind of raised skin concealing, and so I have two different products for that. The first for the dark spots is this Garnier Skin Renew Anti-Dark Circle Roller, which I've just used in so many videos lately because I have been loving it so much, and I find it works better than strictly a concealer at covering dark discolorations on my skin. Plus, the roller ball on this feels so cool and soothing on my skin, and it's anti-puff as well. I do prefer this one over the one with the green packaging, because this one has pigmentation and I believe the green one doesn't. So I do like this for a little bit of extra coverage underneath my concealer, which, as long as we're talking about it, my favorite is this CoverGirl Invisible Concealer. This is in the shade Light, and I like this because it's not too heavy. I used to use the Revlon Photo Ready Concealer, which is a fine concealer, but it's very easy to go overboard with because it is so thick. For the brows, I've been loving this e.l.f. duo. You have the wax on the one side and the powder on the other. Now this came in a kit. I'm not sure if it's available in the Essentials line alone, but I do know that e.l.f. in their Studio line has a brow duo because my sister uses it regularly. It's her favorite brow product, and it's only $3 more than it would be in the Essentials line, you know, it'd be $1. So even then, it's not going to break the bank, and it's a fabulous duo for your brows because it gives you not only the setting wax, but it also gives you the powder, and if I remember correctly, they come in a variety of shades. So you have light brown, dark brown, I don't know if they have auburn, but I do know that there is some variation, maybe even 3 different variations in shades, so they give you a little bit of variety. While we're focusing on the eye area with the brows, I'm going to go ahead and move on to the shadows, and for those, I am loving the NYC individual eye kits. I used this one in dark shadows in my $20 makeup challenge, and I was really pleased with the results it gave me, and then this one is smoky green, specifically for green eyes, and I'm wearing that one right now. Now, I know there are lots of eye products on the drugstore market, especially lots of singles. I personally am loving the L'Oreal Infallible single eyeshadows. They are just unlike anything I've ever tried in the eyeshadow market, but when I had to choose the eye product that you could kind of get away with doing a full face with, it was these, because you don't get just one color. You get 4 colors and an eye primer and a highlighter that you can use not only for your eyes but the rest of your face. So these were just so multitasking, and I love a good multitasker, so that's why I ultimately had to pick these in my top favorites as opposed to any other quad or single on the drugstore market, despite the fact that there are tons of great ones out there. Mascara will come as a surprise to no one, so I won't dwell on it for a terribly long time, but it is this Mega Plush Volume Express mascara that I have used and talked about and reviewed on my blog. I'll link to it below. It's just, it flares my lashes out at the end, kind of like Benefit's They're Real. It's a great lightweight formula because it's their new kind of mousse formula that I can't tell I have mascara on sometimes. One complaint I've heard people talk about is that the brush is so flexible, and I can see where that would be the case. It'd be hard to get your lashes thoroughly coated without going over them multiple times, but for what it does to my lashes, spending that extra minute on them is so worth it to me. So I just love this and have been loving this, and will definitely repurchase this when I run out soon. I had the same kind of beauty conundrum with eyeliners as I did with the eyeshadows, because not only are there good eyeliners period, but they fall under a lot of different categories like cream and liquid and gel and pencil, all those things. So it was really hard to choose this one, so I ultimately went with one that duped a really great high-end product that I know a lot of people love, and that is NYX's Collection Noir Liquid Black Eyeliner, and it dupes the Urban Decay 24/7 Waterproof Liquid Liner in the shade Perversion. I mean, not only in color and almost finish, they have slightly different finishes, but in performance, they're both really waterproof, and shockingly this NYX, which I think retails for like $6, I want to say, but I'll put the price in the info bar below if I'm wrong, for doing what the Urban Decay one can, is just amazing. Also, I have swatches and comparisons of this on my blog if you actually want to see the differences between the two below. If you're thinking of getting this but would rather get something cheaper and equally as effective, I'll put that in the bottom bar as well. Moving on to the face. My favorite bronzer is actually a recent purchase, again for these $20 tutorials that I have been doing, and that is this CoverGirl Instant Cheekbones Contouring Blush, and it has these 3 different colors in here. I'm actually wearing the middle shade as my contour today, and I was very surprised at how pigmented it was. There's really not much more to say about it. It has great pigmentation. This trio specifically is very pigmented and very well put together in terms of color. This is kind of a highlight. This is darker for in the summer if you need a darker contour, or you know, lighter for winter when you need a lighter contour, or for darker skin tones. This is also good, although not too dark. It really doesn't cater to a very dark skin range, but you know, you have some wiggle room there. So that is my favorite kind of contour or bronzer, and I'm wearing it today in addition to my favorite blush, which again I have talked up and talked about for so many videos now. It is the Wet n Wild, if I've talked it up so much you'd think I could remember it. It's the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blusher, and this is in the shade Pearlescent Pink. It's just phenomenal, and that's all I have to say about it. It's just great. It can be a little powdery, as can many of the Wet n Wild powder products, eyeshadows, blushes, bronzers, whatever, but for the pigmentation, the color payoff, and the staying power compared to the price, it's just like, it's no contest. This is my favorite, period. Alright, I think we are hitting the finish line here, and last up is the lip products. Again, another very hard category to pick just one in because there are so many different kinds of lip products out there. Ultimately though, I did end up going with my Revlon Lip Butters. Revlon actually has a ton of really good lip products out these days, from their glosses to the lip butters to their new balm stains, their Just Fit and Kissable balm stains. But I ultimately came to deciding on these because they have the right combination of pigmentation and moisturization? Moisture. They moisturize your lips really well. That's why I love these, is because they give you the color and the moisture all in one kind of package. You know, unlike many drugstore lip glosses, it's not going to be too sheer or wear off, you know, within the hour or 2 hours. It's going to have a little bit more staying power and staining power than that if you get the deeper, darker tones. But it's also not going to be as drying as the balm stains, which while they do stain and stay longer than these, can be kind of drying if you don't apply something over top, you know, then you just have more than one product. So these are the perfect compromise for me and exactly why I chose them as my top drugstore pick for lip products, I guess you could say. So that is it for my top 10 favorite lip products. I would love to hear what your top whatever are, either in comments or in a video response, whatever you gotta do. Please remember to check the down bar for other reviews and swatches of the products that I've mentioned, because I have done a good deal of reviewing and swatching of these because they are my favorite and they are definitely worth mentioning. So please check the down bar for those. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe right there if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!